if I continue to approach that matchup, kind of the way I was doing it, but with a little bit less linear approach in some of the things I was doing in neutral, I think I think I'll figure it out eventually.
I think it's honestly the toughest matchup to learn, or maybe one of them, because it's
one of the hardest.
It's so different than any other matchup. There's so many projectiles you need to worry about.
There's so much going on,
and
the
little laser forces you to move.
Yeah, you can't stay still. Like you have to do something about that.
Yeah.
You literally can't let it rock.
It really reminds me of like a mix of like Villager in Smash, but with Cloud's limit, because he starts charging limit, you have to approach.
Kind
of,
yeah. Well, right now, we'll get more into that one a little bit later. Pin decided to play Cake today, and it's going to be up against BoneShackles Harley once again.
I'm curious to see how this goes, because same matchup for BoneShackles.
Guy. Same matchup, a bit of a different climb. This has happened to many a people, because we have so many Jakes here, and whenever I see a variant that's a different person, I quite literally will call them that. So in this case, Cake.
Yeah.
But with Daquan, with Eric, with Devil Joey, with Pin, there's so many different Jakes, but this is obviously the pinnacle of our Jakes.
Yeah.
Who has won quite a few.
Pin he's the toughest Jake I have ever faced.
That's same for me.
He's in contention for best Pin in my opinion.
Best Pin.
He
is the best Pin.
He's the best Pin. The best Jake. Jeez.
I think so too. Obviously, you got him and J Mafia in the same argument there.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see more of a Pin travel at some point. But right now, Pin's taking a little bit of a trip in towards the upper portions of the blast zone. I think one of the best ways to approach this matchup, if you're BoneShackles, is getting that ignite damage on. I saw a decent amount of damage get applied so far from that, because you can't try to box with Cake too much. Like, you're going to get smacked around for it, and Pin also can't go for house really in this matchup, but he can go for that, which is going to kill Harley really early.
Yeah, I mean, it's 87% though, so it's not terrible. And another thing to say about the ignite, I think it makes those little pokes that much better.
Yeah.
Because if you could just get the one poke in, at least it gets the ignite, and it gets a little bit more damage, and it does add up over the course of a whole game. It's an extra, probably 20-ish%.
It adds massively. People who use the projectile perk by itself, it only does 2 damage. But when you have that coupled with Harley's already ignite, you're getting a total of 8 to 10 off of each one sometimes. So that just adds up. And I'm surprised he didn't rip it. I think he just assumed that Pin was going to dodge.
Yeah, he was waiting for the dodge. I think he could have gotten it though.
Yeah, now he's taking 50 for his troubles. You have to end this soon. I wouldn't be surprised to see just a straight up raw up special from the ground pretty soon. Just got to call it a jump. That works too. That's not going to knock out though, because that was a little bit further to the left, and I think that Pin also plays Taz Drake, so it's going to be a little bit harder to knock him out.
Yeah, I think another one of those will probably do it. And honestly, I'm thinking about it more. I think when I go up against Pin, I might not go to this stage as default. I think this stage is actually really good for Jake.
Yeah, I will finally find the up special. But that's funny. I was actually just talking with Retro a second ago about that with him and Chavo if they run into each other again. Actually, they will if Chavo wins his matches, of course. He is refusing to go here from now on because he just realized this is just so much more beneficial to Finn. I think we're start realizing that this isn't the PS2 we make this out to be.
Yeah, I'm realizing this and Cromulons just don't even bother. Another Gimp. That's huge benefit in Jake's playstyle is that those arms can Gimp so easily. And if you could see that, they just burned both of their air dodges or something like that, and you just time it right, that's it.
One of the things that Pin is extremely powerful at that we've always mentioned, well, I mean, he's taking a lot of damage now, but he's one of the most difficult people to hit after he's gotten a big lead. He actually is nearly impossible to open up sometimes. So, at least for Harley, if you do finally get that one win, you're getting a lot out of it because you're not going to get many.
Yeah, I think in this matchup and against, I think, Rain Dog more than any other, if you can seal out that first stock, you're in really good shape. If you can't, then especially Pin, he just takes an inch and turns it into a mile. He will not approach unless he knows that he's going to get in. And he'll just keep chipping you away with these side airs like this.
Yeah, it's adding up, and Harley doesn't really have any more room to work with now. Now you're in roll up attack distance.
Yeah, so no invincibility frames on the air dodges again, though.
Oh, that was so good. That side air, I don't think you have any resources, and I didn't angle it, but that's
he gets down attack. Wow.
That reminding me of the Falco hands off my.
Yeah. KFP77, yes, I just did play.
Yeah, you missed a match a little while ago with Sage. You'll be seeing a lot more of Sage for sure as he makes an attempt to win the whole thing tonight.
And I am up against whoever wins this, so.
And it'll be a run back potentially for you if BoneShackles doesn't get the upset here.
Yeah, man, why do there have to be Jakes here? Of all the characters.
I agree with that. I'm not the biggest fan of it myself. Oh man. Oh, that would no. Beat him because wait, no. I'm not in a good bracket path regardless. If I
so you're up against Eric.
Losing to Retro, I would have to go into I think Daquan after that, and then wait,
loser of G. So the loser, so either me or Pin.
Loser of E. Daquan or Catchable Ginger, and then it would be you or Pin. Yeah, so it's not a fun time for me either way, but
we have to switch to Arya.
Right. Oh wow, actually,
interesting. BoneShackles is making the.
He just has everyone. Like, he just plays everyone.
He just plays the game. He doesn't play any characters. He just plays MultiVersus.
Hey, you know, he's a appreciator of MultiVersus, and you gotta appreciate that.
I do like people. I am not the type of person that plays a lot of characters. That's just not. I'm not good enough to do that.
I've tried that in the past. It didn't work.
I respect the hell out of people that have a lot, like just deep pockets. Just goes to show your deep knowledge of the game. Right now, though, Arya 85% is 93. Really scary.
Ooh, you got to be careful when you're jumping around Pin high recovery because he will chase that well up all the time. He loses nothing for going for it. You lose your stock potentially at like 20 for jumping in there. So you have to be like, it's a mix up between that and side air, and you just gotta. Sometimes it's just better to try and play around the side air.
I want to say BoneShackles is going for the cheese.
I think he might.
He lost that first game, and he's like, okay, well if I can get like the offstage dare or just like the random knife kill at 30%. Then I'll be good.
We also all believe that Arya actually beats Jake. This is one of the few matchups that more Cake in this matter would lose. But I don't think that BoneShackles has it with the Arya yet. Like, oh my god, big stun though. Doesn't get the follow up. That could have been it.
Well, so that's the thing. Taz Trig really messes with Arya, and especially because Jake's not that big, it's actually really hard to read that DI.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I need to see this matchup get played out a little bit more. I think both characters can mess each other up in different ways.
Yeah.
But really it comes down to, can Arya get the knife? The knife is so stupid.
Oh,
just
no.
as I say that. The knife is indeed stupid.
He got the knife. He got it.
Oh, no.
He just forgot where it was. So.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's gonna lead to a whole SD because it was not off a cooldown and used another side B. I think he was anticipating that it was gone already, so he was going to use the unarmed version and do the spin. But now you have a 2-stock deficit.
Damn.
This is one of the few nights we've had where we've had multiple games where it might just be a straight-up 2-0. A lot of nights it's usually game 3, but so far today, not looking so hot. And Pin is looking to add to that same resume of consistent 2-0s to start off this bracket, especially after that.
Yeah. And this is getting to the percent where Arya actually doesn't like this, because it's now, if you try to hit Pin to do like the typical Arya combos, he's at such a high percent now that it's even easier to DI out of it, or KBI, sorry.
Yeah, I'm still used to doing that as well. I still say DI, but like, yeah, KBI, the knockback influence, and that's going to be a straight-up knockout there. He did snipe the jumps out, and that's going to be it. And BoneShackles going to fall 2-0 there. Pin taking it 2-0 over BoneShackles, of course, and setting up the rematch between you two.
Yeah.